All right. Welcome to another Crossroads podcast, number 67. No, number 76.
Right.
I'm
I was like,
dyslexic
what?
today. I'm James LaFountain,
And I'm Jake Ryan.
and today everything has switched. You were wearing glasses. I wasn't
Oh yeah, I took them off because of the glare.
because of the glare, you know. The
I can see
glare,
close
I
up.
was giving you a glare. I was glaring
Yeah,
at you like, you jacking my style? You take
it's not
Oh,
so bad now.
you think you're smart now? You put on
Yeah.
those glasses, you think your like IQ's bumped up?
I don't know. Yeah, it just works like that, dude. I don't know.
You get the Clark Kent effect now. Oh, nobody
Mhm.
knows who you are. You're not Superman. You're just a regular guy.
Yep, exactly. No, I didn't realize how bad I needed glasses.
Oh
I
man,
mean,
I definitely do need glasses. I just got new glasses, new contacts.
yeah.
I'm bringing sexy back.
I've never had contacts.
No more four eyes, nerdy Jake.
Yeah,
Back to sexy. Bringing
working
sexy back.
out.
Working out.
Yep.
I'm gonna trim my beard up. I've been trimming my
Do
nostril hairs.
Are you doing the Jawser size?
No,
Do
I
you know
haven't.
what that is?
I imagine it's some way of exercising your jaw.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been jazzercising. No, I'm just kidding.
I've been jizzercising.
Oh, I need to try that.
Yeah,
I've, you know, definitely not been doing that much.
it's
I'm
pretty hard to
actually,
do.
dude, fuck the intro. We're already talking now.
Just run it.
But first,
Okay.
speaking of jizzercising, I was actually like, this might be too much information, but so my wife can't like she doesn't have ovaries now.
Uh-huh.
So you know, when that happens to women, they don't like absorb the semen.
Hmm.
So apparently what happens is like if you ejaculate into a woman with no ovaries later, like a few days later, randomly or whatever, it'll just like come out of them.
What?
Yeah. So I've been like, well, should I just practice semen retention?
Um,
I mean, I practice edging because I'm like, not yet. No, no.
uh-huh.
But I was like, I hear there's some superpower stuff to that.
I mean, some people say that. Who was
Kevin
saying that?
Gates says
Yeah,
that.
Kevin Gates and like what who's the other one? NLE Choppa.
Oh, look, I'm gonna have to just experiment and try it myself.
Yeah.
Because basically, if you see me getting super buff and all of a sudden I got, Super Saiyan hair, you'll know.
Okay, so check this out. Um, I posted on this getting shredded subreddit, right?
Mm,
Not that I'm getting shredded or anything, but I was just asking a question. I was like, people are always saying that I'm too skinny. And I'm like, am I like really too skinny or is it just a body fat thing? And because I'm sure you got that all the time too. And like
yeah.
you can, you can see when people are like too skinny or like dangerously skinny, you know?
Yes.
But I think a lot of people just aren't used to seeing somebody with a fucking chunk of fat on them, a layer of fat on them, you know? Like just most average American adults, you know, they have a higher body fat percentage. Anyways, I posted on this and everyone was like pretty cool or whatever. They're like, yeah, you just need to just eat a shit ton more and lift. And they're like, you're not like a twig or anything. And then like days later after this post was like old, this chick commented on it or It was screen handle was like busty but kind of fat or something like that. But she's like, yeah, you're way too skinny. You definitely need to bulk. She's like, I have more muscle mass than you in my legs than you do in your whole body. And
Wow.
I was like, all right, prove it. I was like, let's
And
see
what?
it.
She sent you some nudes?
No. She's like, how am I gonna prove it? And I'm like, because like everyone else was being cool. And then like I went because you could look at people's their history, their comment history. And like, dude, literally every single one of her comments was in some sort of fitness sub where she was like talking shit on some dude for being skinny.
Oh my god, she must have a thing for skinny guys.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like,
It's like if somebody's making fun of you all the time at school, it's really because they got a crush on you.
dude, okay.
She's
In
probably
her
like, oh man, I would break you. I would squash you. You
check
let
this
me
out.
sit on you, boy. No.
So you when I go look at her bio, it says the name says it all, LOL. I'm busty, but I'm kind of fat too, LOL. Under my fat is more muscle mass than my skinny high school gym teacher had. So screw you, Mr. Jones, you scrawny little twig.
Oh my gosh, she has some definite
Like, what the fuck?
physical appearance issues.
Dude, I've never had
Like,
like I have the weirdest fucking interactions on Reddit. It's so weird.
dude, I never used Reddit, but
No.
that's what you should do on your podcast. Is be like, all right, well, you should just record your screen
Yeah.
and you talk. You can edit it
Mm-hmm.
later or something, but just be like, yo, so check it out. This is what was going down on my Reddit. This is the rabbit hole I went down, or
Yep.
my experiences in this thread.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, dude. It's funny how I'll be looking in the mirror though, be like, because I've been buying new jeans that are bigger waist, because I'm like, damn, dude, I need to lay off the Pop Tarts.
Yeah.
No more bowls of ice cream and candy.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I need to just cut back on the sugars,
The thing about that
maybe the
stuff,
sandwiches. I don't know.
yeah, the
But
thing about that stuff, sorry to interrupt, but like when you it seems like when you're eating all that stuff and you're like, you'll have it occasionally or whatever, but when you have it, it's just like so good and you eat a lot of it. Cause that's like it's just dense calories. Like in sugar and bread and carbs and stuff, it's just super dense calories. So it's like a small amount equals a shit ton of calories. But when you don't have that stuff for like just a few weeks, couple weeks, a month or something, it doesn't like it doesn't even affect you. Like you don't even think about it. Like you go to the store and just like we'll walk past that. For me at least.
you
'Cause
mean mentally or physically?
no, it's both. It's both for sure. Because
Like your
the
body doesn't change, like the shape of your body?
well that too, but like your gut microbiome, it's when you eat something, it responds to that, and then like it breeds that culture to like eat that type of food. So like sends a signal to your brain to like keep eating more of that stuff. So it's just like a back and
Oh,
forth
I
between
got
your
you.
gut and your brain. So
I
yeah,
do. I
so
get in those habits where I'll be like, I'm gonna eat a roast beef sandwich, and I'll just like keep packing roast beef sandwiches for lunch. You know,
for sure.
buy
Yeah,
some
yeah,
bread, buy some roast beef, and I'm like, yeah, or make a stew or whatever. And
yeah.
now that's one of my things for this year. I probably already talked to you about that.
What's that?
Changing my diet because I'm like, dude, I need to lay off the sweets.
Yeah.
Like, I hear that it's, for like a recovering alcoholic or, probably other substances that a lot of people will kind of
Well, alcohol, it's a big
substitute it with
one.
sugar.
Yeah.
So I'm like, trying to get my teeth whiter, you know, trying to work out more, build that muscle mass. Cause I will still feel like, yo, I'm still skinny-ish, but my gut, where I'm like, no, dude, I gotta work out my chest and get my pecs over my gut. Cause sometimes I'm like, dude, my gut, what the hell? I need to get my abs back. Be like, dude, I don't even need to flex these fuckers. They're already looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my biceps be like, dude, my shirt's too small.
Yep.
Yeah. But just
Yeah,
stuff
man.
like that. My butt, I'm really trying to get a nice bubble butt. Chicks love bubble butts too.
That's one good thing about, for
Here.
sure, dude. That's one good thing about
People
my
always be
job.
like, you have no ass, Jay.
I get a pretty good ass workout at work because we're like jumping up and down off the tables. I am, at least.
You're just raging, huh? Come here, Mowgli.
Well, no, you have to. Did I show
Why?
you that? Did I show you that video of me building a wall?
No.
I didn't.
Uh-uh.
Let's play that shit.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I made a video. Produced and directed.
All right, hold up. All right, you were gonna show me a video of
Yes,
you
sir.
at work?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing, man, at work?
Building.
Building walls?
Yeah. I don't know. I just like made a whole video.
Did you?
I mean, it's like,
You got audio?
yeah, you can't hear that.
Huh.
I don't know why it's hella quiet. It's just some random beat that I put behind it.
I still can't hear the beat, I wonder.
Um, hmm. I don't know. That's
So
dumb.
this is you stacking your
Yeah, I'm
wood.
just, yep, throwing up the lumber. That's the blueprint,
Nice.
all the material.
You
Yeah,
get
that's what I
new
meant.
blueprints all the time, depending on the type of wall you gotta build?
Yeah, we'll get, they'll come in bundles, like a bundle of walls, and it'll just come in a packet of blueprints.
Huh.
But yeah, that's what I meant by jumping up and down off the table.
Is this like different than you have done before or no? It's the way you've always done it?
At this place,
Yeah.
yeah, this is just how it's done for now. I don't know. We're
Oh, dude, that looks dope. The time lapse of the
all right.
sky.
Yeah.
How
Yep.
long did you have that going?
Man, I had it out there forever. It was like a couple hours, I think.
Like your GoPro?
Yeah.
Was it plugged into a charger or is that just a battery life?
It was just the battery.
Was it in time lapse mode or no?
Yep.
I need to do that.
This is all in time lapse mode too.
Oh, yeah, just set your GoPro up in time lapse mode.
Yep. Yep.
Nice. Dang, you have to do a lot more than I realized. With
Yeah, it's framing and then
you got
sheeting.
you got the nail gun hammer. Oh, you're
Mhm.
operating the forklift?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I didn't know you did that.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm the boss of that shop.
Dude, you the man.
Yeah,
Just
it's
get that baby clean.
right.
Get out the
Hell yeah.
blower. Dude, that's dope.
Oh, it's still playing.
Are you gonna share it online?
I don't know. Good.
Hmm. Well, I
Um,
mean, if you ever make a podcast saying what you did or
I might
I
just
had a bunch of vlogs of me working.
mhm.
I think I privated them though. I could always upload them again.
like a whole like daily vlog type thing,
Yeah,
or just moments.
daily vlog type things. And yeah, it'd be me like waking up, going to work, working. I got some fuzz in my beard. Um, but they just weren't like doing that good as far as people viewing them.
For sure.
So I was like, should I even keep doing this? You know?
I mean,
And it was a
I,
lot of energy. Like,
oh yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, man, like just setting up a camera everywhere you go, like how people will do that. They'll literally set up a camera and just like walk past it and then walk back and grab the camera, and just
yeah,
like Casey Neistat, he does that just throughout
yeah.
New York City.
And so I'm just trying to be a little more thoughtful about how I want to go about making certain videos, especially since short form content has become a thing. I do have the Galaxy Flip phone or
Right.
whatever. So it's a little easier to be like, "Ah, set up my phone over here like this,"
Yep.
but just to bring it home, bring it into a editing program, do maybe some chopping up, put some music to it, render it, upload it, title it, make a thumbnail,
Hmm.
publish it. That's like takes a lot out of you.
For sure.
And
Oh, dude. So I I started a like music while you sleep channel.
oh, really?
Yeah. And I wanted to tell you about this because I thought this was super cool. Like I just been like making the music in FL Studio,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been using Chat GPT for all of the like titles and descriptions and everything.
Oh, nice.
Because I'll just be like, write me a title for a YouTube video about calming music, and it'll just come up with something. Um, I mean, I don't know if I'll keep doing that, but as far as like SEO type stuff, like keywords and stuff, like, dude, it's it's amazing. Because I was like, give me some SEO keywords for this channel, and it just gave me every word. Because when you're sitting there trying to think of tags and stuff, you're like, I don't know what to put here, and you just put a couple tags and whatever. Like it just comes up with like everything that you could think of.
I am gonna utilize that. Yeah, the search engine optimization definitely is something I need to work on myself. Did you publish the channel?
Yeah, it's got like 5 videos up, I think.
Are they getting any interaction?
Mm, they've got some views.
Because my wife will send me these things like, you make one of these channels about calming music and videos, and you could get hella views and make money. And I was like, oh, I could do that.
But yeah, the
But I'm
only
like, ah, damn, it's such a saturated market, and there's already like
yeah,
100,000 videos that have 1 million views. I'm like, is
for sure.
this is it tapped?
I think it's just one of those, just like anything really, like just like the vlogs thing. Um, if it's not just gonna work out right away, like you still have to put in the work. Like it's a lot of work kind of to consistently put out a video of anything really. Um, those just happen to be pretty dang easy because like the stuff that I've been doing at least is like I'll just take like some piece of music and just like flip it and reverse it and stretch it and just stretch it so long where it doesn't even sound like music anymore. It's just like, and then I'll apply like different reverbs and like blurs and convolvers and stuff to just it just sounds like this crazy weird like
Ambient
yeah, just like an ambient
soundscape.
soundscape. Yep.
Are you in the microphone like, you are worth it. You are meant for abundance and prosperity.
I mean, I was thinking though too because the ones that I did, they're just like normal, basic as fuck, like just like you said, ambient soundscape. But I was thinking the other day, I'm like, man, I really should try to tap into that like soul chakra frequency
You are
healing.
vibrating at
Yeah,
an immaculate level.
dude.
You are a magnet for money.
Dude, I swear to God, like if you just did that for like 20 minutes or whatever, and we put that on a loop on one of these, it would be like the most hilarious thing ever.
Oh, dude, I've always wanted to create a character that's like the financial guru, life coach type
Yeah.
thing. But it'd be like he's really just broke. And he
And he
like
just
his
sucks.
videos are a facade. He's like, God, he like shuts off. He's like, I'm so depressed.
Yeah.
Like, and but his video, it's like, all right, the secret to success is you must always keep a positive outlook.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a lot of those guys. I don't know, man. The whole like just all of that whole self-help and all of that stuff is like, I don't know. It's not, there's only a few people that I feel like are like pretty damn cool, you know?
You know who I've been listening to a lot recently?
Gary V.
Andrew Tate.
Oh,
I'm
for
just
real?
kidding.
Oh,
No, I'm not an Andrew Tate fan because of his controversy with, you know, the sex trafficking and
right.
well, and his misogynistic, like kind of womanizing ways. I'm not that type of guy. So I don't look up to those types of guys of like, I need to have 100 females that are willing to get on their knees and slob my knob while I, you know, tell them you are my slave or
Yeah,
whatever. You know, I'm just not really into that type of oh, Mowgli. Which I'm not saying he's totally like that, but it seems kind of like that's what he's trying to portray.
for sure.
It's like I'm the king, you're like my servants.
Well, who are you gonna say though that you've been listening to?
Rob Dyrdek. Come
Oh,
here,
okay.
Mowgli.
Yeah, yeah. See, he's
Come here.
it's very motivational without like trying to be.
Yeah, and so I've listened to him on a bunch of podcasts, and he also has his own podcast.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it's
think you were
called
telling me about that.
Build with Rob.
Right.
Um, Super cool, dude. And I've just been, I've been working this overtime on this other remodel job, which
Yeah.
basically initially was like, yeah, I got this like bathroom remodel. It's pretty small, and like, and then it's like turned into the whole house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, well, I'll make good money, but I'm working a lot more. And
Yep.
I've been just listening to Rob Dyrdek like most of the whole time. And just to kind of absorb all of his outlooks and about, you know, being positive, but designing like a systems and optimization. He's always using these like big words and formulas for his sorry, my dog is so whiny right now. With my family out of town, he's just like, where are they?
Yep.
I can't stand it. And even that with Rob though, he talks about not only his business stuff and like developing businesses, making them successful, but he talks about his personal life, like his family life,
Yep.
and how he keeps that, you know, successful and building and keeping a good relationships and his own mentality and like physical mental health.
Hmm.
And it's just so inspirational. I'm just like, dude, because in a way, I've always wanted to be like Rob Dyrdek, where I'm like, dude, I want a fantasy factory, yeah,
Well,
and
dude, yeah, he's always been like just one of my favorite people.
pro skater. To see a pro skater get to that level of, you know how he is, man. When he got the sacred geometry
Honestly,
synchros.
he's always reminded me You guys are similar in some ways. Like sometimes when I'm watching ridiculousness, just like I don't know, it's just kind of some of his mannerisms.
Well, you see, I kind of lost my mojo for a while in life. And I was like, I used to be like super confident, like, dude, I'm born for success. Like, you know, it's just, I got it. I got my mojo. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I have the power to tap into the energetic field out there and, control matter and manifest it with my thoughts and sit and meditate and get out there and make it happen, be confident. And then, you know, probably like substance abuse and all that stuff. Just getting caught up in life of, the worries and doubts of like, oh, am I going to be able to be successful? And then, I got a little whiny like my dog over here. Gosh, you can probably hear him whining, can't you?
Yeah, yeah, it don't bother me.
Well, it bothers me,
Yeah, I get
but,
it
um, here, let me let him out real quick.
for sure.
All right. Anyways, what I was saying, I think my dog needs a little bit of time to
Hmm.
just, chill out and not just stop worrying. And that's what was wrong with me was I got so worried about things like, am I gonna become successful? Have I already failed? Is it over? I'm 30 now. I'm not a millionaire yet. Shit, it's over. I'll never become a millionaire now. And so also I'd have to say probably surrounding myself with maybe not the most ideal people for me and getting caught too much in my ego and comparing myself to other people. And, you know, so after things got so bad and I had like a mental breakdown and all this, that, I was like, okay, I gotta get sober, get my mind right, get my body right. And now I'm feeling like I feel like I've got my mojo back.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm not just getting it back, but I'm like, dude, I actually feel my mojo again. I feel And listening to Rob has helped me to be like, "You know what? What did you forget, Jake? That your whole ways of like, I'm gonna write these things down in a notebook and these are my goals. I'm gonna make them happen."
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, dude, even with
Hmm.
the podcast where I was like, I've been slacking on the podcast and I need uh, in the past, I'd kind of be a little bit of that, like try to be inspirational to people. But now I'm like, dude, I have to be an example,
Yeah.
and be like, not like, hey, be like me, but it's like I can't talk about becoming successful in something I haven't already become successful at, you know.
Yeah. Um, yeah, man. I agree with it all. I think the best mentality is to, for sure, like do everything you can. You gotta humble yourself too, like because I think the I don't know. I don't want to call it like just the high hopes that you have, about stuff and the dreams and all that. Um, I don't know, it can make it kind of that much more frustrating, like you said, when you're like comparing yourself to other people. When you really think about that stuff all the time and you like put so much pressure on yourself about like getting success with those types of things.
Yeah,
So I don't know, man. Like I've definitely felt that where it's like I'll be so inspired and like to like a delusional point,
yeah,
probably, and then there's other times where like you're trying so hard and it's nothing's working and you're just like I'm a piece of shit. And I suck. Like,
Well, and that's another thing Rob Dyrdek talks about is kind of these 4 phases of a new project you're developing or a new goal to accomplish, and I think I've mentioned the things like breaking it down into milestones, but
Yep.
he also says these things about, you know, which I'm sure you're familiar with, the whole, like, you're excited, it's an idea, you're writing it down, like, "This is what I wanna do, I got a great idea, and it's gonna work." And then you start it, and it's like, "Dude, I'm feeling excited about this new project." And then maybe it doesn't, like, spike right away and doesn't kinda, like, have this initial explosion, and it's kinda then you're like, "Well, actually, I don't know. I had all this energy for it, and I don't know if it's now gonna work out. I'm kinda bored, I'm kinda tired with it, and I just don't know if it's even worth it to push through."
Right.
And then basically that whole thing of, like, if you continue to push through and, if you can get your energy back up again, then the whole idea is hopefully you make that breakthrough where you're like, "Hey, now it's working, it's happening, and I can roll with it." But just like, whether it's just a little project, like an album or podcast. I even struggle with the podcast still where I'm like, man, I want to harness it, get it figured out, be able to reach the right people, and, you know, just make it I feel like I've kind of been trying to develop all these little things, like Soulfire Beats, Crossroads Podcast, Crossroads Music,
Hmm.
Crossroads Construction,
Right.
and all these, a lot of it's multimedia, which like similar to yourself, where it's like graphic design, music production, video production, merchandise, building a brand, um, almost like lifestyle company type stuff, where it's like, yeah, skateboarding or, you know, nature and like hiking and positive outlook on life, like being an inspirational company or whatever.
Right.
And being like, okay, I don't want to do too much. How do I tie this all in? And, that's kind of Rob's thing is like, if you set yourself up with these little things and create a system for them so that they can kind of
Hmm.
have their own formula to operate from, I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to get that going so that in 5 years, 10 years, I'm like, I've done the groundwork. They're running, they're in motion. Cause I still want to do those other things too, like real estate and,
Yep.
get into those big levels of life where it's like, yo, housing and the whole idea of the community center type fantasy factory thing.
Hmm.
Have a YouTube channel that's like Fantasy Factory
For sure.
type things where it's like, yo, it's me and my homies and my family, and we've got something going on here, and it's entertaining. We have an audience,
Yep.
but then sometimes I'm like, is it even gonna work? Is this a stupid idea? I shouldn't even chase this dream. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think some people just have there's they don't think about it as much, and for whatever reason, like I'll put a lot of pressure on myself with stuff. Sounds stupid, but just like, you start making something like you said because it's fun and it's new and you got this new project going, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, you got to keep doing this, like the work part of it, and like finding time to do that work, and then finding time to like fit it into a routine to make it consistent. And then you don't want to like be like, oh, I missed a upload date, and just so you
Hmm.
start thinking of all these things before you even like create a channel. And So that's what's kind of cool when I was talking about that like ambient sleep music thing. Is it's like it's super easy to make the stuff, and the only thing is like rendering takes like 4 hours or something. Uploading to YouTube takes like 10 hours.
Is it like an hour long
They're
videos?
10 hour long videos.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah. I slept to one the other night. It was like it was perfect. And it was cool too, because like remember a while ago
You
I was
could put them
talking.
on Spotify too, I bet, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Release an album of, you know, whatever your what is your channel called?
Calm Compendium.
What is compendium? You make
Like
that word up?
no, it just means like collection.
Oh. I started a channel like that too. I only have one like rainfall for 2 hours.
Dude, yeah, you could do whatever.
And
I've seen
it's called Relaxation Station.
that's cool.
It's probably already something, but they wasn't taken. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
But I'm
I
gonna
think
start doing the ones that's like, you're calm. Everything in your life is falling into place exactly as it was meant to be. No,
dude, that would be hilarious.
dude. Yeah, dude. And those things, I believe they actually work. Like,
Well, that's what I was gonna say is like, because I remember we were talking a while ago about these, and I was like, remember I told you that I fell asleep to some and I woke up because I was like, man, what the hell? It just like whatever was playing, it was kind of tripping me out. But I was thinking, I was like, they could be putting any sort of weird subliminal messages in there. So
yeah, like
it was
about
cool to sleep to the one
negative
that I
stuff.
made. Yeah, because the one I made, I know for sure I didn't put anything in it. So I was like, you know, slept pretty peacefully.
Yeah, dude. It's that's a great idea is to create your own, even for yourself, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you're so much smarter now. You got glasses.
So
Like,
check this out. I was thinking about it too. I was like, this is like magic.
it is
Cause
actually.
no, because check this out. Listen, check this out. Like, so I'll start in FL Studio, right?
Hmm.
And then I make the audio. I'll export that, bring it into Premiere, make a video out of it, export that, upload it to YouTube, and then I'll end up watching it on my TV in my bedroom with Bluetooth headphones. So I'm like laying in bed with Bluetooth earbuds in, making something that it's just weird how it travels from one thing to another thing, and then it ends up like wirelessly in my ears, like
Well,
just a
yeah,
few
and it could
hours
travel
later.
all the way to China. And like somebody in China discovers it and they're like, you know what? What is
Straight
it
up.
called again?
Calm
Com
Compendium.
Calm Compendium.
Yeah.
Dude, if you released like albums of Calm Compendium on Spotify and got onto like a playlist that's like calm, relaxing, soothing music to, you know, stress relief and
The
for
jizzer
to
size
do
too.
your homework. Yeah. Make some tantric frequencies out there. Like, oh, this album is all about sex magic. You
Dude, that
wanna
would
you're like, this is a 10-hour session. You wanna last 10 hours.
yeah,
uh,
24 hours.
you're gonna need a lot of blue chew
Yeah,
and
water.
amphetamines
Yeah.
and water.
No, I thought it was kind of, I almost wasn't even gonna tell anyone about it because I just like as an experiment, you know.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I should still stick with doing
But
because what's up?
well, what I was gonna say, because I was gonna say something earlier about just like kind of all that being consistent and stuff. Um, and even just like dieting and working out and anything really.
Atomic habits, right?
Well, just it's kind of a different philosophy of just like I guess seeking discomfort is what they call it. Just like doing things that kind of fucking suck, you know, like putting yourself through that on purpose so you could build that muscle. I think it's a muscle, and the more you do stuff, it's just like working too. Like, I mean, you have to find a way through it, like physical labor type stuff where you're waking up early. Like, nobody wants to be like lifting heavy shit at 6, 7 in the morning. But like, you got to find a way to get yourself out of bed and not hate your day. So like, you're constantly waking up and doing something that you don't like, and after a while, like, you find ways to enjoy it and just like different ways to look at it. And some days are better than others. But it's if someone was paying you to exercise and like your income depended on it, it'd be different, but it'd be the same like mentality that you'd have to use to get yourself through it. um
Yeah,
but
I guess.
but you see it with people that don't ever do anything that they don't want to do. You make them do one little tiny thing that they don't want to do, and they fucking flip out you know
Oh yeah. And that's another part of like, raising my kids and trying to develop those habits with them where, like one of the things I need to do for myself and for them is I'll wake up with Hendrix in the morning. He always just wants to wake up with me and hang out for a bit when I'm getting ready. And so at first I would wake up, you know, shower, breakfast, and after breakfast I'd do like some push-ups, sit-ups, and like meditation while he's there. He might be on his Nintendo Switch or something, but I was just like, well, as long as I'm here doing some push-ups, sit-ups, and meditating in front of him, he'll kind of
yeah.
absorb that. And then I started getting lazy. I started working a lot more. I'm like, just like get a little extra sleep.
Hmm.
I'm like, Jake, like if my higher self, like my soul self that's like hovering above me could be like, kick my body into shape and be like, Jake, you know what you want to do it. Just fucking suck it up. Do those push-ups.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a little tired, but fuck it, you're gonna be tired anyways. Like, I don't know. Like,
it,
just don't close your eyes and lay down.
yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting at too, because I started working this job, and I mean, it's not like the most physically demanding job, but it is physically demanding, and you're using your whole body all day, you know.
Mhm.
So, and you could lift as much as you want, but I'll be lifting real heavy shit on purpose. Like, I'm looking at it like like I'm
Might as
trying
well
to
get a
lift.
workout in,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Um, but for a while there, I was just kind of, I don't know, just getting over it. But I was super tired all the time too. And so I would just be like, I just need to rest. So I would just do nothing but rest, like basically just work and then just come home and chill.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why do I have no fucking energy? And so I just started like, I think I think a lot of it is diet. That's the first thing that I always think of, is like, I must not be getting enough, or enough of something in particular. So just different things. I started taking creatine. I
Mm,
feel like that helps a lot, dude. It's just a
I
little.
should do
You
that
should,
too.
dude. It's for muscle recovery and muscle fatigue. So like, literally just like muscle stamina.
Yeah,
So that
because
was,
I always feel it in my arms mainly,
yeah.
whatever, in my back or my chest or abs, depending on what I'm doing. Not really my abs so much unless I'm really like doing crunches. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely feel it in my arms after a good day of
Hmm.
doing because a lot of the tools we'll use, we have to fill them up with mud,
For sure.
like
Yeah.
the big tube to run tape and and stick it to the walls, and then fill up these boxes of mud on poles. and run them across all the joints and seams of a house, you know?
Yep.
So once it's full of mud and they get heavy, and then we got to apply all this pressure in all these different places and, run all the tools.
Yep.
And it is like a full body thing, which like yours, so it's like physically demanding,
Yeah.
which is nice because I definitely feel like since I got back into it, feel more muscle.
Hmm.
But I'm like, you know what? I still need to come home and like pump. I need to do some curls
Yeah.
and
And
jump rope. I really want to be jump roping.
hmm.
Just be like, yo, my cardio.
Yep.
I feel
For
like
sure.
it'll also help like my legs and my core a bit. Like I feel like once you
Yeah.
really get going, your abs kind of start to tighten up a little bit.
With what? Jump rope?
Just something like that when you're like, yo, I'm just like in the zone with
Dude,
something.
best thing for core, honestly, is just like planks. Just do a minute plank. Your abs will be burning like crazy.
The guys at work will come in and be like, Jake, what are you doing? I'm planking, bro.
Oh, you're talking about at work.
No, I'm just saying, like,
All right.
because sometimes I'll be like carrying boxes of mud in,
Yeah,
buckets full of mud or water, and be like kind of joking around, like,
pumping
I'll
it.
get my pump on real quick, guys. Just
Yep.
get like 3 reps in real quick. All right.
Hmm. Yeah. Get the blood flowing.
Yeah. Um, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because I just started kind of thinking about that and not really trying, but just like getting more in that mindset of like eating better, supplementing, and just all that stuff, rest and hydration. And because I've always loved that stuff, just like I've always felt my best when I'm just thinking about that stuff. And um,
well, when you think about it, like, and this is the whole thing I was saying about being an example.
yeah,
Well, say there's a time in my life where I was kind of promoting the party life. Fucking rage, down a bottle of Jack, shotgun a beer, smoke joints all day, eat acid,
hmm,
fucking snort a line, woo, sniff some fucking workout salts. No, just kidding.
yeah,
I've never done that, but I've always been like, wow, this is a strange thing. But what I'm saying is, after going down that path of like substance abuse, alcoholism, addiction, and like going through the negative effects of it, mental health, physical health, financial, like economical health, being like, dude, I'm fucking broke. My credit's fucked up
yeah,
because I would go into debt, spending money on getting lit or whatever,
yeah,
And then to be like, okay, I got to work on this recovery, talk to a therapist or, you know, get in a program or whatever it may be. Quit drinking, start working out, um, doing these things. And then it's like, unplug from social media and not get so attached to needing the validation from other people and to feel like I'm doing something great and I want people to like it. And then to just be like, I'm working on myself. And then once you get yourself like, dude, they're not just the skinny kid anymore. They're bulked up, they're sober, thinking clearly, building a successful life. I'm like, you don't even have to try to like get
exactly.
people to be like, look how cool I am. They just would be like, damn, dude, like
For sure.
I can see the change this person has made in their life. And they don't even have to flaunt it, like,
Yeah,
don't have to be like, uh, just toting your own little accomplishments. Of course, we're all gonna say, "Hey, man, I've made it this long sober, or I got a promotion at work, or this or that, which is that's cool. But I used to feel like I I needed that
Right.
to feel good about myself.
I mean, I think it's important to celebrate for sure. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, for sure. And
I mean,
especially with people that are gonna be happy to see you succeeding because there
right.
inevitably is gonna be people that don't like to see you succeeding, and I've felt that towards other people. I'm like, what the fuck? They're succeeding and I'm not. What the hell? Why am I not,
Hmm.
more successful than them? They're a shitty person. I'm a better person than they are. Why do they have more uh people that like them or whatever? And that was like this twisted dynamic that social media would create this turmoil inside of me.
I I've heard from like a few I don't know, different like videos and just different people. I can't remember who was saying it, but they were just talking about like, like how to make it in Hollywood or just how to have longevity in the entertainment business, basically. And they were all kind of saying just like, just keep your head down and work, like don't get involved in any of the bullshit. Just be humble, keep your head down and work. Like basically that's it. If you're a cool person and you don't like, spread gossip and try to fucking, throw people under the bus to climb to the top, like
Yeah.
that goes a long way because most of that shit is just full of shady people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and especially like that's what I would always look into. Okay, how do you build a successful, especially in entertainment? Because I'm always like, I still want to do acting. I still want to play big concerts and go on tour in a tour bus with a rad band. And I'm like, yes, I still want to do this. I'm not going to stop believing that that's going to happen one day. I've
Mhm.
been on that trajectory for years and years. I can't just be like, nah, I'm too old now
Right.
or whatever.
Yep.
Or yeah, I work construction. I have wife and kids. That's Hollywood is out of the question.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what? I could still act in a movie or TV show, I'm sure, if I actually put myself out there and try to one day. If that's, I'm just speaking for myself, that there's some of these fun kind of career goals I have,
Yeah.
like a show type thing, just YouTube even. Be like, yo, we're gonna make our own
Yep.
short films. We're gonna have our own uh
Yep.
fantasy factory thing or little short films.
For sure.
But when I listen to these things about how to become successful, that's when I got on those tangents of positive outlook. I read those self-help books, and then I got down the rabbit hole of the conspiracy theories of Hollywood and like the cult of celebrity
Hmm.
or some of the dark arts that are out there or Scientology or Satanism. And I'll be like, dude, I was raised Catholic and Christian and, you know, and looking into all these other different religions. But when I would be like, okay, wait, so there might be people out there that are like into like sacrificial rituals to become more rich or famous. Like that's their belief, is that by doing certain acts to whatever sort of god you might have or whatever maybe you got to go like be gay with a record producer or something, do some sort of
He'll be gay.
nothing against the gays, but
Right.
they might do that. They might be like, yo, you got to come to this, you know
Hmm.
homoerotic orgy. We're all gonna, eat some ecstasy, drink some
And eat some
adrenochrome,
ass.
and eat some ass. Okay. And you are gonna eat mine. We're gonna
Right.
69. Okay.
Yeah. In a human cat. What is it? Human caterpillar.
Human caterpillar. Yeah. And oh my god. Uh, but yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just like you might have to go suck some dick if you want to be an actress. You got to get on the casting couch out in Los Angeles. If you got to hook up with Harvey Weinstein if you want to be the next, you know, A-list star. If you want to be the lead female in this new blockbuster, I don't know.
Mhm.
You know, when you hear those types of things, you're like, ugh, I
Right.
don't know if I want to do that,
Yeah.
but I still want to succeed in my dreams.
I think that's totally possible. I mean, it's only like, what do they say? Like 10,000, or if that, 10,000 loyal fans to
Yeah,
just make you a successful, you could live off of that, you know?
it's a lot of people.
It is. I'm not sure if it's even that, but just the idea is it's you don't have to be, you know, Billie Eilish famous. Because that's what people
Yeah,
hear. You're like, I want to be an artist. Like even Delilah, she was showing me some drawings that she did, and they're like really good for real. She's like, she's 10 years old and she's drawing some stuff. I'm like, dang, that's really
nice.
good, you know? And she's like, yeah, uh, everyone's saying that you can't make money being an artist. And I'm like, yeah, it's really hard, but people do it.
Yeah, and I think I also am a firm believer in, a lot of people try to say, do choose one thing, do that one thing, you'll get good at it. I got this fuzz on my finger. I don't know where it came from.
Came from your beard,
Dude, I'm just fuzzing out today.
right?
But first of all, I get too bored to do just one thing. I'm
Yeah.
too like, dude, I love to play the guitar and I love to play the drums and I love to sing and write and I want to come up with the ideas for merch and I like to play video games
Hmm.
and all these different things where I'm like, I've always just had this idea of like, why can't you just be like, it's always been my goal to be like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it as best I can. Like, if I'm gonna play a video game, I'm gonna conquer that thing. If I'm gonna pick up a guitar, I'm gonna learn how to play that guitar. I'm gonna be like, I can play any song. It's
Hmm.
just like to me, I'm like, it's kind of a state of mind thing. Like if you think, yeah, I could do that,
For sure.
then confidence does go a long way.
Yeah, dude. Like,
And
I don't know.
belief, really.
For sure. I feel that so much because, people are always asking me to do stuff for them. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this either, but I'll figure it out. I'm like, you could figure it out too. But for whatever reason, some people just don't have that in them where they think they could do that, you know. But like like my cousin, she'll ask me to help her with some stuff like around the house. But then
Hmm.
she'll do stuff herself too. Like she changed her food disposal thing. I was looking at it. I'm like, that doesn't look that, because someone was telling her like, oh no, that's pretty complicated. And I was looking at it. I'm like, you could do that.
Hmm.
And she did it, and she's like, oh yeah, like did that myself, and she's all stoked about it.
Oh, dude, I told you about my dryer.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, Kayliana came home the other day with the arcade machine
Right.
from the dump. It's like Cosmos is what it's called.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, sweet. But we plug it in, and she's like, yeah, it was working up there. It's like, sweet. I plug it in, and it's scrambled.
Right.
And I'm like, shit, I think something got knocked loose or something. Maybe a bulb got broken. So I took the back off and like looked up some YouTube videos and was like, all right, something's happened here. Maybe it's a loose wire. I get
Hmm.
back there, I start fiddling around. And of course she's like, Jake, you need to unplug that. You're gonna get electrocuted. I'm like, yeah, I I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fix anything if it's not plugged in and you're looking at the screen. So I found some little instructions in there too. So I was like, oh, sweet. It's got the instructions here. Now I know what these knobs are and I know what these wires are. And it was literally just like adjusting a few of these knobs with a
Hmm.
screwdriver that were for like the imaging
Right.
of like the horizontal, vertical limits,
Yep.
and it's good to go.
Hmm. That's
And
awesome.
yeah, so I'm pretty stoked on that. We got about $1.50 of quarters that were stuck in there.
Right.
Um, and then like today I was like, dude, what the hell's wrong with my windshield wiper fluid? It's not coming through. And I thought it
Hmm.
froze. And I
Right.
was like, nah, dude, it should not be frozen now. And of course the line came off. It's like,
Yeah.
well, this is simple. But I couldn't see down in there. I'm like, God damn, I gotta finesse it, make
Yep.
sure it's working. But I'm like, just those simple things in life sometimes where you're like, something is wrong here.
Hmm.
I have to fix this.
For sure, dude. I mean, I like that arcade cabinet story. That's like right up my alley. I would love just taking that shit apart and trying to fix it.
Yeah, dude, you're definitely that type. Didn't you say you took apart a PlayStation or something?
Yeah, I like kind of refurbished a couple,
Oh, really? What, do you got
and
them still, or did you just sell them?
I well, I had yeah, I sold one, and then I was just like, this isn't. There's no profit margin here, but it was fun just because. Yeah, I still have one that I was like in the process of I
What
don't know
kind of
because
PlayStation?
a PS1 or a PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
PS1 is the mini one. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just I came across these like restoration channels where they're like restore an old Game Boy or something, and they're super satisfying to watch. They'll use like hydrogen peroxide and UV light to like de-yellow stuff. How like old
Mm.
electronics will get all yellow, you know? So like this
Yellow from
just from
age?
yeah. So like it'll take a like a Game Boy, one of the very original ones, you know, and they'll put it in this big bucket with water and hydrogen peroxide, and like put a bunch of UV light shining on it and leave it in there for however many hours, and then it goes from like that ugly yellow color back to gray. Just takes all the yellow out.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was nerding out about all that. Just I was like, man, I kind of want to just do that. It looks very satisfying.
Well,
But then you realize like how dirty shit gets just like over time, you know?
it's funny how cleaning something can actually make it run so much better. My computer, I'll have to take it apart and vacuum it out, blow it out, and just so much dust collects inside of it that it's like,
For
dude,
sure.
first of all, that's a fire hazard,
Hmm.
and everything just runs better.
Yep.
It stays cooler,
Yep.
and it's just interesting how much dust affects our lives. You
Dude,
know, I get the more dust in the air, the more boogers I get in my nose. I'm not a real big fan of boogers.
man, I'm
I work in
breathing.
dusty environment.
Yeah, for sure that drywall dust.
Yeah.
Same, just except it's sawdust.
Yeah. And when we get to sanding, you know,
Yep.
yeah, it's not that fun, but that's life. And I guess now I try to keep that state of mind of, it's stupid and it must have been my ego. And I heard this really good analogy or acronym for ego today. And
Hmm.
when I went to a meeting, and so the topic today somebody brought up was God,
Right.
because that's in like a lot of the 12 steps revolve around God and, you know, um, a higher power, belief in a higher power and changing
Yeah.
our lives and stuff. And so everybody has their own understanding of a higher power. If they, or actually, it's really hard to understand too. I might not ever really understand a higher power, but
Right.
I still believe in something. And then somebody's talking about the ego, and their acronym for that was edging God out.
Hmm.
And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool because my sponsor said something to me once about how, and I've probably said this to you before, where they're like, a lot of times when something bad is happening, we as humans often try to find somebody else to blame. But when something really good happens in our life, then we usually try to take credit for it. Like, yeah, dude, I made that happen.
Right.
But, you know, if you get a promotion at work and you're like, dude, I did that. I was working so hard. I earned that. If you get fired and it's like, dude, that's some bullshit. It's not my
Mhm.
fucking fault that Tony didn't wash the dishes or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But that whole edging God out and the ego really made me think about how, when I got really egotistic in life, and I would tell you those things, where I was like, your thoughts and words you write down and for goals and the actions you take, you start to feel kind of like God of your own reality. Or you're like, I could influence energy, I could tap into the molecules in the air and, you know, manifest things or attract them into my life. But so it kind of create this God complex a little bit. But at the same time, like you were talking about humbling yourself and being like, well, you know what? That's just kind of, I try to look at it now as like maybe just like a gift we're given. And also something they said today about God, where they're like, I try to refer to it to a lot of people as our creator, because they'll say things like, oh, well, if
Yeah.
there's a God, why is there war and all these
Right.
evil acts? And it's like, well, that's mankind doing that. And, we were given the gift of free will and to create a life, our
Hmm.
own life. And I'm like, that's a great way to look at it. Whether it's right or wrong or the truth, it's a good way to look at it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Um, it's like I think it's some Chinese philosophy or something. Um, there's some story. Basically, the moral is like, not being so like you say, like egotistical when something good happens, or just like being so stoked when something good happens, because eventually something bad is gonna follow that. And then vice versa too, when something bad happens, not just being like, this is the end of the world, because later something good is gonna happen. Basically the story, or it's just good things happen and bad things happen. And a lot of the times that stuff is out of your control. The only thing you could really control is cliche, but it's how you react to things.
that's true. Well, and, it's just like somebody said something the other day in church. The pastor was like, yeah, I know some guys that, when something bad is happening, like another preacher or something, like some trouble arises, and they're always like, yeah, sweet. This is going to be another great lesson for me to learn. And a part of me is like, what the fuck? Who the hell looks at life like that? Like, oh, oh, my laundry machine broke. This is exciting. My mind first goes to, oh, fucking great. Now I got to call the maintenance guy and I'm gonna have a $300 bill here.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, wait, how can I resolve this situation here and problem solve? And can we fix it ourselves? And then, then we thank God for YouTube.
For
But,
sure.
be able to fix it ourselves, save that money, gain that knowledge and experience. And then I'm like, actually, I guess I am kind of grateful for now knowing. how to, fix a problem potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and even just like, other things, minor or major or whatever, but just things that can be potentially upsetting, just kind of, I think it just comes with age and maturity, kind of realizing that, like, okay, I've been mad at shit before and I got over it. There's been times where I got mad at shit and I blew it up and made a fucking ass of myself, and so you just learn to, like, temper your emotions and your just knee-jerk reactions to things.
Dude, yeah, that I was thinking about recently. My anger.
Mhm.
I've had massive anger issues in my life. It got me in a lot of trouble. I act crazy,
Yeah.
ruin relationships, break things that I love,
Mhm.
and get me locked up or in the hospital or just dumb shit. And it's like when I think, because now I, with sobriety and all these kind of new methods I've been learning about about recovery and how to kind of reflecting on myself too, kind of surrendering to like some of my character defects and be like, okay, I can analyze this and realize that this is part of my personality that I'm gonna have to live with forever. I'm not gonna be able to cure it. I'm gonna have to learn how to manage it and change, grow, and uh my anger, dude, I used to get so like engulfed in rage.
Mhm.
I'd be like shaking in anger about things I can't even control. Be
Yeah.
like, fucking God, there's pedophiles in the government or Hollywood human trafficking. God.
Yeah.
Or even just fucking simpler stuff in life. Oh, my wife didn't. My laundry's not done. Why the fuck is this shit? The dishes aren't done yet. I'm annoyed right now.
Mhm.
And just shit like that, where it's like, you know what? Let's just try not to blow up right now because this is gonna make matters worse. And you can just fucking do the dishes, Jake. Like, do your own laundry.
Yeah.
uh, or whatever, and look, there's gonna be fucking whack jobs out in the world. There's gonna be these evil people. All you can do is what you can do for your family. You don't have to be a vigilante pedophile hunter out there,
Right.
which makes me think, did you hear about that hitchhiker documentary on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
Dude, you got Netflix still?
Yeah.
Watch if you like. It's the hatchet wielding hitchhiker.
Okay.
Did you ever see that guy on YouTube?
I don't think so.
Dude, watch it. It's like this kind of homeless hippie surfer kid.
Oh, yeah, I seen him on YouTube.
Yeah, where he's like, dude, I came up with a hatchet. This guy went crazy and smash, smash.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
his story.
Okay.
It's
Crazy.
amazing. And it kind of is along those lines of like, you're a nobody. You're a homeless hippie kid with a messed up childhood and troubled past. And then all of a sudden you're viral and internet famous and you don't even care. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know because I'm not like even on the internet. I'm out here hanging out with my homeless friend that's an old lady that is mentally ill and probably addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
And, next thing you know, he's famous. He's on out and about in like Hollywood and people, you'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
But how things kind of go from like, I'm a nobody to boom to crash
Yep.
to like, whoa, what's going on here? And it's just a really good story and kind of an example of like just like what can happen in life and how things can like hit these peaks and then pitfalls.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I honestly think the most like if you just you have to have such a solid team of people around you. Like if you blow up famous like that, like a solid base of people that like knew you before you were famous and can keep you grounded, you know. Because like I'll notice myself like just different days, like if some days are more busy compared to other days, just the way that I feel, like just interacting with that many people and just kind of being like, you know, really, really out there in the world and talk, you know, like I said. Um, so like I just kind of think about like what what it would be like to be in some of those situations where you're, I don't know, in big meetings or doing a press conference or just like having a bunch of people being like, "Oh, do you need any?" You know, like it's just all of that stuff. Like I don't know, it freaks me out.
Yeah, dude, it's really interesting. Like, for it makes me think, for example, like when it comes to doing concerts, and we've played all kinds of different shows. Some of them there was like nobody there. Some of them there's like packed. Um, and now I've been playing with the band at church, and I really just focus on the songs. Like I don't even really look out at the people.
Hmm.
And there'll be some days there's a smaller group, some days it's a larger group, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just focus on the songs. Like I'm just gonna like play my music. I don't necessarily need to look out and stuff like that much. And so recently, some people were getting sick or busy traveling for work, and they're like, Jake, I usually play lead guitar,
Hmm.
and I'll just kind of play some other like kind of rhythm and chords, and then throw some lead licks in. And then they're like, hey, the bass player's gonna be gone. Could you play the bass? Yeah, I'll be there. And then I get there, and I'm playing bass today. They're like, well, actually, some of the other acoustic singers that lead, they're not here today. So can you take their spot for today? I'm like, wait, what? Uh, because it all really
Hmm.
revolves around them.
Yeah.
It's like they play the chords,
Hmm.
sing the songs, and then everything else kind of fills in around that.
Yep.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'm trying to find my confidence right now because I don't really know all these songs. I just started playing with you guys. I don't really know. I can read the chords and the lyrics, but I don't know
Hmm.
exactly how the patterns
Everything fits.
go, the melodies are, how it all fits together. And they're like, just let the Lord take over. I'm like, okay.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, dude, for real. And that's part of my step 3. I've just finished up step 3 of the 12 steps.
Hmm.
That's what it is. It's like turning
Jesus, take
over
the wheel.
Jesus take the wheel.
Yep.
It's basically like turn your life and self-will over to the will of God and put your life in his care. And which was really hard for me to do at first. I was like, what the fuck? Why is this hard? Why is it hard for me to be like, no, God's got your back, all right? You know. And so I was like, fuck it. Like, yeah, dude, Jesus take the wheel. And yeah, we did it. We got her done.
How'd it go?
It went well.
Hmm.
I was like, dude, I don't even know how the hell I did that. Like, there were a few songs that I had played with them like once
Yep.
before. So I was like, oh yeah, I can't remember how this goes now. But I'm just like, I just play some lead stuff and like pipe in with a little bit of background vocals.
Hmm.
So being put in that position, it was a good feeling because it kind of brought me back, helped me get my mojo back. but also it was one of those things where I was still like, don't even look out at the people. Like, you don't need to get caught up in like all these people who's here because it's not about me. It's about this music and relaying this message, which is all in church. I'm like, this is about God. This is about praise and like worship to our God, which has been different for me because a lot of times, a lot of my music and stuff in the past, it was either about self struggles or boasting. Um, Sometimes it'd be about like the group, but I'd get caught up in myself all the time. If you're a singer songwriter and you're like, write a song like, I've been so sad recently and I'm struggling with my addictions and I miss you, babe, or whatever.
Mhm.
People can relate to that, but kind of shifting my mind now to be like, okay, how can I shift not only my mind, but maybe some of the music or art I create to be inspirational
Yeah.
and not, and I was afraid to do that because I was like, am I gonna be a lame? Uh,
Mm, I don't know, man. It's like it's art is such a weird thing because like the moment you try to do something, it's like kind of doesn't work out in a way. I don't know, like I think
well, yeah, you're right.
just like I was saying with Rob Dyrdek, like he's inspirational without trying to be. Like he doesn't brand himself as like a inspirational person or like a self-help type guy, and then all the guys that do brand themselves like that, they're not even, I mean, they're just saying all the same stuff, and like he's saying, like being an example is you, and I like that too because it's like an example of many. Like there could be many examples of different ways to be, but it's the people. I feel like it's the people telling you like, hey, this is how you should be, that you should
Mm,
watch out for. Like the people that are like, this is just me. Like you could do what you want, but this is just how I do things. You know.
yeah. I was watching a Vice thing about Andrew Tate,
Right.
and he's got a sword in his house, and he's like, I did a whole video on how every man should have a sword in his house, and the world would be a better place.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
No, but I believe it.
And I'm just like, all right, that's
He's not, dude. He's trolling for sure.
kind of. I think it's a mix of trolling
Hmm.
and he's controlling. I think
Well,
like
I don't.
he's
Yeah, I don't think you'd be putting that shit out there as a troll if you were against that shit. You know.
yeah, I think that, definitely from the world of like kickboxing and being macho, being superior, it's definitely a superiority thing
Yeah.
of, you know, and that's one of those things. It's like a really hard thing to really grasp or to like to judge somebody and be like, oh, you got a huge mansion and millions of dollars and 27 exotic cars and 100 women that you got in chat room working for you or just stuff like that. You got a million young men out there willing to pay, you know, $50 for your monthly membership to hustle your university or whatever,
Right.
and just stuff like that where it's like, well, you can obviously see that there's a market and an influence that this has on people. And I guess it really comes down to people's, like goals or their morals or their own self belief of like, what they want to become if they how they can achieve that, you know,
Hmm.
and I think that there's some things that Andrew Tate says that I'm like, that's a good point. And then there's some other things where I'm like, dude, that is so fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely am not that type of a guy. But some of these things you say are inspirational.
Hmm.
And that's like, and then some of them, if he wasn't so like, you're all dumb, I'm so smart as fuck, you're rich, or I'm rich, you're poor, like, fuck, I could have 10 wives. That's me. I'm gonna live my life. And it's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but it's a little like, oh no, dude. You seem a little bit like a supervillain.
Yeah, he does. I don't know. Apparently, he was discovered on the Your Mom's House podcast.
Like,
That's who blew him up.
well, I know he was on like the Real World back in the day.
Right.
Um, but now they were talking about him on your mom's podcast. Like, look at this guy. Who is
No,
this guy or what?
it was a while ago, but it was like it was what made him internet famous. And
What were
then
they
he just
saying about him?
I can't remember. They were just because they'll do that. They'll just find.
Like, oh, here's another like internet guru, sensationalist or something
I don't
that,
even think he was doing that at first. I think he was just a cool guy, just trying to be a cool guy.
well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely controversial. And the other thing that gets me about him is how he'll always say things like, the Matrix is broken. He's getting arrested recently
Yeah.
for like the rape and human trafficking stuff. And he's like, the Matrix is attacking me.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, this is a little borderline, like mental health issues. Like if there's some things you see in this world, like I know what it's like to be like, we're living in the Matrix. Nothing's fucking real. Like when I was getting strung out, and if you get to that level this guy's at, where it's like you got $1 billion and you got 100 women licking your toes and a million guys, kissing your ass. Dude, that's gotta be a pretty fucking heavy drug,
For sure.
and that could definitely put you in a place of like, I'm the master of the universe. Bow down. And I'm like, I don't know, that could be dangerous too.
For sure.
And that's what the other thing he totes, I think, is like how dangerous he is.
Yeah.
Powerful. And it's like, yeah, dude, this guy could basically have his own mafia.
For sure.
I mean, I'm sure he basically does.
I don't know. I mean, he's living in Romania. Like, why the hell? I don't know if he's no, he's half black. He's not even Romanian. So yeah,
Well, I know he
it's a weird
lives in
place
some
to.
other places that have like different laws,
Yeah.
and he started his own bank. Nothing against starting your own bank, but it's like, man, when you're at that level of like,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude,
Money laundering.
that's crazy successful. I don't even know if you call that successful. That's just fucking rich. Like you successfully have accomplished some of these things, but he doesn't seem to be like, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but he doesn't give off this real like happy vibe.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he could be like, I'm happy. I have all these fucking cars. I have a mansion. I get these chicks are licking my asshole for
Right.
free. In fact, they're paying me or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
like, I don't mean to like dog on the guy, but it has been an interesting story to
I'll dog on
watch.
him. Fuck Andrew Tate.
Yeah, dude, I actually lost some respect in a way. Not like I have a whole lot of respect for Joe Rogan. I don't know the fucking guy. But,
Right.
when they'd be talking about Andrew Tate, and it sounded to me like Joe Rogan was like defending him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, dude, like, come on, man. Like, you'd be like, well, the kickboxing world is a really, hardcore world. And if these allegations are true, which they might not be, I'm like, well, dude, come on, you could kind of see through this, and you have daughters and a wife, don't you ever think about the way he talks about women is a little, you
Yeah.
know,
No shit.
a little too much. But yeah, so I was pretty bummed out when because I like Joe Rogan. I think that he's always had this kind of a pretty like level playing field head. Whoops, I spit on my stuff, but you know what I mean. But like
Yeah.
he gets a little argumentative with people, but I don't feel like he gets, you know, super critical.
Right.
And that was one thing that kind of bummed me out because I'm just like, the guy, I'm definitely not gonna be sticking up for Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just I guess we'll see how the whole Andrew Tate story goes. But the thing about that is when people are at that level, just like Liver King, where it's
Hmm.
like, oh, Liver King, the truth is out. He's been on $1,200 worth of steroids every month.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, do you think that's going to change? Not now that the truth is out. You think that all of a sudden those millions of young men are going to stop looking up to him?
Some of them probably, but I'm sure he's still just gonna keep doing his thing.
Yeah. And I guess that's the sad truth of our reality is that, it's just like the R. Kelly thing where people are like, you know what? Sure, man. R. Kelly might be a total weirdo that's, you know, into locking up young women in his basement and doing
Right.
strange things. Uh, but man, I love his music. And it's just
Yeah.
hard. It's one of those things like, man, that's just so hard. Be like, I love this rapist song.
Well,
It's
it's
tough.
just when you're streaming it, you're giving them money, you're helping them support it. But if you just like pirate that shit and just listen to it offline, then you can listen. It's not hurting anybody to listen to a recording.
Oh yeah, but there's that part of my mind that's like, I don't know. You
Yeah.
just sometimes you get that weird little like
Well, that's how I feel about Kanye now.
conscience or something. Yeah, where it's like,
Like I
man,
can't enjoy it the same.
yeah, for sure. It's just one of those things.
Sucks.
It's like, I don't know. It's just one of those things that when your outlook changes or when people do certain things that you're like, damn, dude, I really don't agree with that. Just like if I might have a fan that's like, man, I really like Jake Ryan, his music. That one song he wrote, it makes me feel good. It makes me happy.
Hmm.
And then, I might go ballistic on the internet all drunk and high and be like, dude, why the fuck the government? No.
Hmm.
And they'd be like, whoa, dude, this guy's actually fucking crazy. I am not a fan anymore. Or whatever, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
might be like, wow, his outlook on the transgender community, I do not agree. And I don't care what people do, but it's just for an example of how, you know, you might say a racial slur on Twitter, and next thing you know, you got a whole heap of people coming after you.
Yeah.
So this whole part of like growing and learning how to conduct myself, like you say, just keep your head down and focused on working. Don't get caught up in that bullshit.
Yeah, man. Even just like with like the just music and art stuff, like I feel like, a lot of it is luck, but there's just so many things that people do that they don't realize that that's what everybody's doing. Um
What do you mean?
I don't know, just as far as like, okay, we have this goal, we're gonna make like this project, or we're gonna put together a band, anything like that. It's like, okay, here are the steps to do that. Like people that have done it before, whatever, worked in the industry, they know they've done it 100 times or whatever.
The steps to take.
Yeah, and so like when you don't know all that stuff, you kind of just think like, okay, I just gotta sit here with my guitar and write, and hopefully I come up with a hit.
And then
You
I'm
know,
gonna put this on YouTube and I'm gonna get 1 million views. I'm gonna be famous.
yeah, and but there's just I feel like there's just so much more thought that goes into it as far as like what are you feeling? What are you going through? What like inspires you right now? And like just honing it down and whittling it down into like, okay, these are our options, like the directions that we can go in, and just really planning it out, like planning stuff out in like just in a smart way, like in a creative way, but in a smart way too, where even things like, oh no, this song needs to go first, or like we need to take out this bridge, or just things like that, all the little that stuff has always like been my favorite to do, because like I was saying before about just like making beats and producing and stuff, and coming up with stuff from scratch compared to using a sample. um just coming up with stuff from scratch, it's a lot harder to do, but every once in a while you'll make something that's like, dang, I'm so glad like I just kept trying to come up with something, because I came upon something that just sounds really good to my ear.
Yeah.
And but just doing that like over and over again, just with everything, like with the lyrics and with the whole song, just basically like you have your creative time, and then you have your time to like put it all together in a smart way.
Yeah. It's I guess a little bit of that trial and error and developing a formula, which is the whole thing I'm trying to really absorb from uh Rob Dyrdek right now. And that's why I'll listen to like I've listened to tons of these podcasts or his little monologues. I'll just listen to them again. I'll go to
Yeah.
sleep listening to them. I'll listen to it again. I'll be like, I already heard this one. I'm gonna listen again because I definitely probably didn't register it all. And I'm just like, the more I can ingrain his thought process and his vocabulary into my brain,
Yeah.
the more I believe like, okay, maybe through osmosis, it'll start to like manifest where I'll be like, okay, I am actually just sit down and journal. And he's this, like you're talking about atomic habits, where he's like, I write down every hour of my life. I
Hmm.
schedule my time that deeply.
Yeah.
And he's like, I log it too, where my days are logged like what I did that day, what I ate, what did I drink alcohol? Did I meditate? Did I work out? Did I do this or that? And I make sure, because if I start falling off, then I know I'm gonna start falling behind and I can't do that.
Hmm.
And dude, he's got these goals where he's like, I get together with these people that I can't remember the name. It's some like tiger shark group or something.
Mhm.
The Tiger Club, and they're like huge net worth people that they get together and they go over their assets together. And it's like this development thing where they're like, well, they have to show these other large net worth people other assets in their like lifestyle and how they handle their money, and then they have to defend it. And other people are like, why do you do this? You could do this, and
Mhm.
he's like,
Yeah.
then they got me thinking, he's like, I'll make like a 1 year, 5 year, 10 year plan, this and that. And he's like, they got me working on what's your 100 year plan? Because he's like, I want to live to be 120 years old. He's like, but they got me thinking about what about generational wealth? What am I going to create for my future families, and my kids' kids, and their kids? And he's like, so now I'm recording these videos. He's like, I want to have 500 videos that are going to be like my yearly, like my generations down when I'm dead and gone. They're going to watch the hologram video of me that's like, hey, everybody, like I'm your great 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 grandfather that,
Yeah.
established this stuff years ago, and this is our bloodline and how I wanted to create this life so that you know generations to come could kind of live a good life and have these kind of standards hopefully to live by. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
dude, who the fuck thinks like this?
Yeah.
This sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
Yep.
And I'm just like, dude, this is next level brain power,
For sure.
and especially to come from a guy that I'm like, dude, I knew Rob Dyrdek from DC Shoe Company and Alien Workshop
Yeah.
as a skateboarder. Like, I'm just a skateboarder. It's like, I want to be a pro skateboarder one day. Man, I look up to Rob Dyrdek. Next thing I know, there's Robin Big, the Fantasy Factory. I remember the DC video. Did you ever see that?
Maybe.
Well, the very beginning of Rob Dyrdek's part is when
Oh
he
yeah.
hired Big Black to be the security guard that kicks out the security guards
Yep.
when they come to kick out the skater.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that stupid idea like caused this
It's
massive change
changed everything. Yeah.
dude. It's just crazy. Like,
Yep.
but basically, I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty good about this year so far.
For sure, dude.
You
I am. Yeah.
sound like you're
Um,
like, oh, I'm gonna stick around for a couple years, just work,
yeah.
work.
Yep. Yeah, just work, save up, get my cheddar, work on music and art when I can. Try to do something consistently. I think this sleep music channel might be just something to do consistently,
Yeah.
But I've been getting in like music mode a lot more and just went and picked up some acoustic strings today. Was looking at their guitars.
Electrics.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully after tax season, you get your new instrument. And yeah, I'll let you get to your night, put on them strings, watch the Hitchhiker documentary.
Oh yeah, that's right.
um, and I'm gonna go through some of this music and find some stuff to send for you.
Yeah, dude, definitely do it
Well, it's good to chat again, bro.
for sure. So 76.
76 or
Yep.
76ers
Mm-hmm.
and
Black and white gang.
black and white gang. I got the polka dots.
I got the what is it?
checkers,
Yeah,
squares, flannel,
flannel, crosshatch, something.
squares and circles hanging out
Yep,
together, you know?
yep, yep.
All right, brother. Well, you have a good rest of your night. And
Sure will.
hopefully we got some people listening because we're going to be building the listener base still. I'm going to go through and, I'm not going to give up on the Crossroads podcast.
Yeah, man, and I'm gonna get back on my podcast too.
I
I'm
love
just
it.
I'm just gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know how it is to go through phases of being like, oh man, my energy's drained. Takes a lot of work to even
Mm-hmm.
set up a camera and talk into it, and then be like, I gotta upload this now and chop it up and then render it and then upload it and publish it. So all of y'all out there
Mm-hmm.
that are on the other end that are listening, and you might not even be a content creator, but we don't just create this for ourselves. So if you made it to the end of this, make sure and like, subscribe, comment. I'm trying to get one more subscriber this month.
Mm-hmm.
If I could get one subscriber a month, one comment a video, I would feel accomplished.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think my plan is just to do it when I can, not once a week, because that's like I said, I'll just end up not doing it and then be like, oh shit, I missed out. But yeah, I feel like
I share that one video too, or it'd be cool to see more stuff like that. It's just even a little inside look to your life.
yeah, I mean I'll probably start uploading
Like even if
stuff,
it was a channel
just the
preview
main
type
channel.
channel, yeah, have a main channel. And those like channel trailer things, I need to make a good one. It's like, hey, what's up, everybody? My name is da da da, and this is my life, and welcome to my channel.
Dude, and honestly, the chat GPT stuff, it's like it really kind of relieves a lot of that anxiety for me of just coming up with stuff as far as stuff like that. Like you could just literally type that in. And it's not like you have to use what it comes up with word for word. But you can just be like, I need a trailer for write me a script for my YouTube channel trailer,
Mm-hmm.
but just anything like that where it could just offload a little bit of the work to where you can just save that time and mental energy.
Yeah, and then you could be like, oh, this is a good like framework. I could alter it, change some words, put a little
Yeah,
more
dude.
personality or your own personal
I
life
mean,
stuff into it.
because it's all like editing and all that. It's all just like you're just tricking people, and even writing like scripts and stuff, just the way things are said, like there's a certain style of writing that people use when they're broadcasting the news or narrating nature documentary or something, or even podcasting, like so like you once you kind of use those tools and just put it together, people are like, oh wow, this is the thing.
Dude, what if we had like, I know there's AI types that editing generator things that'll like do effects and this and that, but I'm like, man, what if we could like one day, you do a little monologue into the camera and then you upload it, and what if like the AI was so good it could just like go through and chop out all those little parts that you have to go in and chop out
I'm sure that's not even that far
far
off. Like
out, and
that
then
seems pretty easy.
like say this one where they'd be like, okay, we're gonna find like those hot moments, the algorithms, and be like, this one will do good. And then they would like, we're gonna chop it up into a vertical short. It's 15 seconds.
Well, YouTube already has that where you're scrubbing through the video and it'll show like those peaks and valleys, and then it'll be like most replayed.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it'll show that. So like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, my dog's out there barking at the moon, so
For sure.
I better go give him his dinner. It's dinner time. So, all
Yeah, I better
right.
give myself some dinner too.
Me too. All right. Love you, brother.
Love you too, bro.
Love you, listener.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
I'll see you. I'll see you the next time at the crossroad. The listener's like, I love you too.
Yeah.
I don't even know you that well, but no.
It's all love.
That's all love. All right.
Hell yeah, bro.
Adios.
I peace, amigos.
Peace.